Today in MATLAB Basics, I'd like to go through the process of debugging some user code that came to me through an email because of the blog. Let's look at the data that was sent. Let me scroll up so I can see it better. And we can see that A is a column of data where there is a value, it's repeated a few times, and then there's another value, and so on. This MATLAB user wanted to find the first occurrence of each of the strings of repeated values. So in this case, we would pick out 1, 5, and so on as we're going down that string. Once we have those indices, we can then index into the matrix to find the values of that column and of a corresponding column. So that would be columns A and B. How was this done? Well, if we run this code, looking at the command window, I can see that we're having some problems at line 15. What I like to do is say db stop if error, and now I'm going to run this again. And right before I have the error, I have access to whatever is happening. If I look at C, that is a bunch of indices where the change occurs. And that looks pretty good at the first value, the fifth, like we had discussed. So the algorithm is working. It looks like it's the indexing at the end that is giving us problems. Well, let's take a look here. What is B? B is a column matrix. So let's take a look at this and evaluate that to get our error. Subscript indices must either be real, positive integers, or logicals. Well, over here, whos for who size, and we can see that B is a double. Well, that's no good. Why don't we come in here and instead of putting a 0, we'll put false. And we'll put true here. Now, I always like to start these scripts at the top with a clear so that we're always starting at a fresh point. Now let me run that. And what's the problem? C is still a double. Why is that? Aha! Up here, we can see that when we initiate this, we are putting a 1 there. We should be putting a true there also. Let's run this again. And now everything is working. So it was a matter of making sure that my indexing was done with a logical. And because at the very beginning I had defined it as a double, what was happening is if we clear everything here, I'm going to say C is equal to 1, whos, and you can see that it's a double. Now if we say C2 is equal to false, and whos, it's too late. It's still a double. And so that's the reason why this was erring. We had to make that logical matrix a logical from the beginning, because if it's a double at the beginning, then the vector will never become a logical just by adding logicals to it. Okay, I hope this was useful in finding out how to debug a realistic program in MATLAB. Thank you.